It does appear from the information provided that the company which was given a permission was Denel, and Denel then subleased that contract to Fireblade. And so far there's nothing wrong with that subleasing. We're trying to find the legal ways and correct ways to ensure that our policies are being followed. As you may know, we are only responsible with the issue of designations of the ports of entry, particularly international ports of entry, in terms of Immigration Act. Other departments like Revenue Services, they are looking at the goods and services. What has become quite clear that we are respecting the court decision in this matter, and the department has been involved in key stakeholders such as Department of Transport, the AXA, which is the operating company at the airport, to find a way of making sure that we continue with that list. We are, however, trying to strengthen our own regulations as Department of Home Affairs in terms of Section 9 of the Immigration Act. We'll come back to the committee on that. Secondly, as committee members have been saying, I reported to the committee that we are trying to expedite the Border Management Act, which was trying to strengthen the coordination at the ports of entry in terms of all state entities, making sure that we strengthen the security in relation to movement of goods and services at the port of entry.
So we heard from Fireblade again saying that they were subletting from Denel. Yeah. We've heard from the head of Lanseria Airport that they are letting from the Department of Public Works. So it seems that there's no proper regulatory framework in place, which is what is concerning MPs, especially when it comes to allegations of porous borders, lack of border control and state security.
Yes, as you might have remember that the cabinet in 2013 passed the border management framework, and then we have to put legislative amendments which were passed by the National Assembly about 19 months ago. They've been somehow delayed in the NSOP because of certain challenges which were raised, as I'm informed, by SARS. I've written to the Minister of Finance so that we can meet and resolve that before the Parliament rise, because the issue of coordination and ensuring national security and coordination of our activities is quite key. So, and the committee in the NSOP is waiting for me to actually, and the Minister of Finance to say they can proceed. They've got no issues with the bill as it stands today. So that's what will strengthen the issues of national security, the passing of that border management agency bill in Parliament, because there's a structure which has done got coordination function, which are very clear, and to make sure that the law enforcement at our ports of entry and in our borderline, which is defense, that one is dedicated to defense, but the coordination part of it is through the border management agency.
Are you quite happy at this stage that enough is being done to make sure that border control is compliant and that unwanted people, such as terrorists, for instance, are not coming into South Africa using false passports, and that our borders are in fact safe?
I can say I'm satisfied, but there's still no more work to be done. If you look at our ports of entry, where we have a major responsibility, there is better coordination. Particularly at our airports, we need to improve coordination and processes at our land ports of entry. The key challenge which we have at the moment is the issue of fake documents, people coming with fake documents, but we do discover now that we're doing live capture. So we need to strengthen our live capture and systems so that people can be detected quite easy before. The advanced passenger information platform also helps us to detect who's trying to come in. But the biggest challenge we have at the moment is the borderline. That's where the Department of Defense is mandated, shifted from the police to defense to guard the borderline, because in certain areas it's difficult to police. We're working with those communities to assist, create these concentric circles of ensuring security, working with communities, but we also need in certain areas to put measures like deployment of personnel, deployment of technologies. I think technologies are going to be quite critical at this stage because we can never have any soldier every square meter of the borderline. It's too long. But if we deploy technology, we think that we'll be able to improve our security.